You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
This is Rod Mahood, your in-game voice of the Niagara IceDogs, and you're listening to the Dog Pound Podcast on the Armchair GM Sports Network, your podcast source for all game analysis, team interviews, and up-to-date news regarding the Niagara IceDogs.
Perlini! Overtime! IceDogs win! Jose! Score! To Akil Thomas. Thomas has the angle coming in. He scores!
52.1 seconds to go. Do you love it, Niagara?
Welcome back to the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs. Brandon Caputo and Andrew Thompson with you live from Niagara IceDogs training camp. Drew, first off, welcome to the network. It's exciting to have you on board for the Niagara IceDogs coverage this season as a contributor. So we brought on Cam, who was already on the first episode. So just thoughts on being here and exciting time to bring you on board as well.
Well, it's good to be here. First of all, thank you for that intro. And you and I have been staying in contact covering this team for years, and you've been full-time covering this team for years. And now I get the opportunity to contribute to what you've already been doing, and it's going to be a blast. There's a lot of optimism just being here. This is my first day here. You've been here for a few days now at training camp, but there's a good little vibe. I feel like we're turning the page in Niagara for these IceDogs, and don't want to get fans too excited too soon, but there's a good sense that this team's going to turn the page for the better this season. Absolutely.
So what we're going to do on today's show is we're going to bring you a bunch of different interviews from training camp week itself, from the players, the coaches, and we've also got some great visual from Drew here as well that's going to go over top of that, just to give you guys a good idea of what's been happening here at training camp. It's been very physical, very intense, but the guys have been very optimistic off the ice, but on the ice, there's been a lot of guys battling and trying to prove themselves, maybe the guys that aren't going to make the roster, that want to be call-ups, or the guys that want to showcase what they have to offer for when the regular season starts at the end of September.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm just happy to be here. I'm the new guy in town, but like you said, there's a lot of new talent in town, and maybe I can ask you that question then. What are you seeing from? I mean, we know second overall pick Roobroeck is here, and Kevin we're expecting him to take another step this year. But out of the entire training camp, the third day here now, what are you seeing from which players, and what level of optimism do you have about this team from these specific players?
Well, Kevin definitely looks the part. I mean, coming off that impressive rookie campaign that he had, tying Akil Thomas's 16-year-old rookie goal output, it was a fantastic season. Kevin's a great kid on and off the ice, and he just wants to take that next step. You can see that little extra step that he has, that little bit more, explosiveness that he was working on in the offseason that he told us about. He's really putting it to work on the ice, and obviously Ryan Roobroeck coming in as a second overall pick. He's looked the part. For a bigger guy, he definitely has deceptive speed. And you can definitely see his playmaking ability and why he was the first forward taken in the draft. So, and even the other draft picks coming in, Ethan Zada, Artem Frolov, Ivan Galyanov, these are all guys that were just drafted this year that are going to hopefully make the club, right out of camp. So there's going to be a lot of optimism, and especially on the D-core. The D-core has flipped around a lot. They had a lot of defensemen that have left the organization either due to overage or other factors. So they had to really revamp the D-core on the fly here, Drew. And I know you're excited because they bring in Daniil Sobolev, being a Montreal Canadiens fifth-round pick back in 2021. So I know you're excited to cover him. You know that he has a chance to crack the Laval Rocket out of training camp, but we'll kind of see how that goes. But definitely some optimism, and it looks like the interim GM Wes Consorti really wanted to, make an impact in the offseason and turn the roster over as much as they can with the guys that want to be here and make sure that they change the culture in and out of the organization.
There's a lot to be had there, and I think the key word, though, is optimism. Like, that seems to be the theme for training camp right now, at least for me. We both said it probably 10 times in this video already, but it's true, and that just seems to be filtering throughout the organization on and off the ice. And how do you think that will translate to fans eventually? Are they going to have to wait and see? Like, what's the measuring stick for this season with the IceDogs turning the page, with also bringing in new coaching staff as well?
Yeah, I mean, they bring in Ben Boudreau, obviously, with you'll get to see the interview with him coming up just a little bit later, but he's really excited to be back here in Niagara and wants to, help change that culture around here. He's happy to be back home in front of friends and family, and, making people have pride in wanting to wear that IceDogs crest again. Ryan Kuwabara and the rest of the coaching staff, they're instilling, that wanting to be an IceDog is the number one thing. If you don't want to be here, then you're not going to be here, and you're not going to be competing for roster spots. So the will to want to be a Niagara IceDog and the will to want to continue to grow as a young man and as a young hockey player, that's going to be the number one focus for this coaching staff. And I think, the fans, I think you're going to expect that this team is going to be more competitive than last year. I know that's a cliche to say, but, last year was a very rough year. They learned a lot through the trials and tribulations of what last season was, and none of them want to repeat that again. There you see a lot of guys stepping up like Zak Lavoie saying, we've got a lot to prove, on and off the ice, and we need to, have the fans want to be proud to be Niagara IceDog fans again, and they're doing all they can, and they want to make sure that this rink is packed, and having the great tradition and the region's team that Niagara is so proud to be.
Well, again, there's a lot to take in this whole experience of training camp, and this is my first time, and I'm going to go on script for a second. I'm new, so I'm just going to give myself some grace to do that. But some players that you've highlighted beyond the ones we've already discussed, Kevin He, Ryan Roobroeck, Juan Copeland, Zak Lavoie, Bronson. Bronson Ride is a tower. Now, what can you tell us about Bronson? I mean, again, there's even more players we could go to, but a guy like him, what's he going to bring to this organization in terms, you got to tell me, he's a forward, right?
No, he's a D.
Okay, so that's why we're going to edit this.
Yeah, Bronson Ride, the big body defenseman that they got from the Windsor Spitfires, along with Chris O'Flaherty. That was the trade for Rodwin Denicio during the offseason, last year. So I really like the addition of those guys. They came in halfway through the year, and they both made a big impact. Chris O'Flaherty's a banger type of winger, and I think people are going to be excited to see what he brings again as he takes another step. He was getting into some scrums after the whistle yesterday, so Chris is one of those players that's just has high intensity. And Bronson Ride, big body defenseman, was at Ottawa Senators development camp, so he learned a lot from there, and is hoping to take that as he continues to grow into that big body that he has, because sometimes it takes guys a long time to really grow into that type of frame that they're going to have to be on the ice.
Now, goaltending-wise, I guess that's where I would like to ask you, where are they at in terms of goaltending, and what sort of prospects do they have right now that have you believing that their next goalie's up, the next goalie's up?
Yeah, I mean, Owen Flores is going to be the starter for this team. He was at Pittsburgh Penguins development camp. He wants to take a big step this year, be that starter. They acquired Marcus Vandenberg from the Kitchener Rangers this offseason. He played behind Marco Constantini, but when he got into game action, he was great. Had over a .900 save percentage for the Kitchener Rangers. So if something were to happen to Owen Flores, they're confident that Marcus Vandenberg can come up there and really stabilize the goaltending. As far as the guys that might make it out of camp, Charlie Burns is a guy that played a little bit last year, and he's a guy that they've moved to the Fort Erie Meteors to have him be closer in case for call-up situations. So I think that he's one of those guys that you look at and say that he would be a quality goaltender as a call-up if they need. But Flores and Vandenberg look to be the stabilizing goaltenders this season for the IceDogs. So with that said, we're going to take you to these interviews now, and we've got some great interviews lined up, some great insight from coaches, the players, and everybody here at Niagara IceDogs training camp. So we'll see you guys back after the interviews. Here with IceDogs rookie Ryan Roobroeck. There's some young guys here. There's a lot of competition going on. How do you feel like the level's been out there so far? Seems like you guys are getting some scrums, there's some big hits out there. Just how do you feel like, as in general, the camp itself, the competitiveness?
That's good. I mean, lots of talented guys here, as you see out there. There's guys who really want to be here, competing well, making smart plays and everything.
And, for you personally, it's going into your rookie season. Just, what are you going to, hopefully take from this week that, is going to help you as you transition to a full-time OHL player and, just getting adjusted to the style and what it's going to be like, when you take that jump?
I'd probably say give it everything you have, obviously. And that's probably what I'm going to take most. Obviously, you see out there, you got guys out there battling for pucks and they didn't ever give up. They're always wanting it. They always want to do something with it, make a play or whatever. So I think just going out there, giving it all, and trying to copy them it's going to be pretty important to me.
And the big expectations that are put on you, how do you kind of put that aside and just, work on your game, coming in as a high draft pick, but, just being able to put that noise and the expectations aside and, just do what you do on the ice?
None of that stuff really matters, like where you go or anything. I think it's just more so what you do on the ice and what you can bring to the team.
And last question, from what you've seen, maybe give IceDog fans a preview of, maybe what they can expect from a certain player that's really caught your eye so far at training camp. Is there somebody that, you think is going to take a big step this year as an IceDog?
There's lots of guys. I can mention them pretty much all. They're all looking good out there, working together as a team. They're finishing their checks. They're making the smart passing plays and everything. It's truly amazing being out there to play with them.
IceDogs rookie forward Ryan Roobroeck, thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck at the rest of camp.
Thanks for having me.
Here with IceDogs returning forward Juan Copeland. Juan, you're one of, if not the longest tenured IceDog now. Just thoughts on being back here in Niagara again, and taking a leadership role on this team now. Is you've got the lay of the land. Guys might be asking you some questions. So how are you kind of embracing that role of being a veteran now?
Yeah, it's it's something special being here for 3 years. There's been a lot of trades and a lot of teammates gone. So it's pretty cool being one of the last few here and, being looked to and, being just a leader and just helping all the guys out, whether it's where to go, where to eat, or on the ice or with training staff. So
full year at Ryan Kuwabara as the head coach, Ben Boudreau coming in, Brandon Shaw's back. Just what does the coaching staff kind of really wanted to see from you guys going into camp and, expecting obviously better results on the ice, but, what's the message that they want to instill in you guys as you continue on to build towards the camp and towards the preseason?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, they want to see who's out here to work hard. We got enough skill, we got enough good players, but it's who's willing to work hard and go the extra mile.
And some young guys too. It's going to be a competitive camp. Some guys trying to make the roster right at a training camp. What has that been like seeing some really talented young players coming in here and trying to earn roster spots? No spots are going to be given on this team.
Yeah, the biggest thing is they're coming here to impress everyone, so it's going to be pretty physical, pretty quick, fast, skilled game. But the biggest thing is going out here and playing your role, doing the right thing, and don't get out of your comfort zone.
You were, 3 years ago was your first training camp. So, is there something that you try to let the guys know as, the guys that are first year invitees, maybe even to the camp, that are nervous, don't really know what to expect? Looking and reflecting back on your first training camp, is there something that maybe you would try to reach out to them and let them know, with the experience that you went through?
Yeah, just be confident in yourself, know who you are as a player, and, these guys invited you for a reason. So, make sure they know that reason and give yourself the best opportunity to make the team.
And lastly, for yourself, do you have some goals that you're trying to achieve this year? Obviously, points-wise, but also, some other goals that you're trying to build on make yourself an all-around better hockey player.
Yeah, I think, everybody wants a lot of points, but the biggest thing for me is just, being able to be a leader and someone that the coaches can look to, get the boys going or to talk to, and definitely just, playing my best hockey, playing the way I know how I play, and, I was pretty successful when I was playing the right way, so I got to stay that way.
And last question, what player you might look forward to take a next step this year? What's one player that IceDog fans can get excited for that you think is going to make a big step this year?
Yeah, I think Gavin Bryant currently just got traded to us. I think he's a big player, big role player, a guy who's, ready to do it all, and he can score goals, he can make plays.
IceDogs returning forward Juan Copeland, welcome back, and can't wait to see you this season.
Thank you.
Here with new IceDog forward Gavin Bryant. Gavin, trade just happened earlier this week. A lot of whirlwind of emotions. I know you had your roots in Owen Sound for a long time. So what's the mindset coming down to Niagara and being a leader on this team? As a person that has some experience in the league.
Yeah, you know what? It's a young team, and it's just it's pretty exciting for me because it's a fresh start all around for me, And on the first day, it seems like an unbelievable group of guys. The staff is unbelievable, and no, I'm just really, really looking forward to the rest of this week and obviously the year.
And last season, you had great stats, 26 points in 30 games. I know, you wanted to play a full season, but, from the little snapshot that you saw of your play last year, were you happy with the way your season went, despite it being cut short?
Yeah, for sure. You know what? My biggest thing going into last year was consistency. I felt as though I lacked that a little bit in my rookie year. And, I just tried to work on that last year, and that's going to lead into this year. And I think consistency is big in the game of hockey. And, if I can work on that even more this year, then that'd be good for me. So
you wore an A in Owen Sound. What was that honor like for you to be a leader on that team? And it seems like you're a natural leader on and off the ice. So how are you going to bring that into a new room as you're getting to know the guys still? Even at training camp, it hasn't been that long. So how are you going to balance being a leader on this team, but also trying to get to know everybody, because that's just the type of player that you are?
Yeah, you know what? I think the biggest thing for me is just being myself. I'm a people person, and I think in Owen Sound there was a lot of leaders in that room, and like you said, I was fortunate enough to get the A last year, and it was a big honor for me. But letter or not on my chest, I'm going to be the same person. Leadership qualities and just all of that I'll try and bring to a new team.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you a quick Colby Barlow Pro question. Is there anything that you really learned from him, as the player that he is, being drafted first round in the NHL? Just did you learn something from him that maybe you're trying to instill into your game, and just being around a player like that has a great work ethic and obviously has a lot of skill?
The kid can shoot, so I think that's one thing. But no, I lived with Colby for 2 years, my 2 years in Owen Sound, and got a lot of nice things to say about him off the ice as a person and whatnot, and obviously on the ice he's kind of showed what he can do going that high in the draft. But no, I can just a lot of nice things to say about him off the ice, and I really, really got along with him in my time in Owen Sound.
And for the IceDog fans, what type of player do you want to be on for this team, and what do you think that your biggest tangible is going to be for the IceDogs, and the biggest strength that you're going to add to this locker room?
Yeah, I think off ice, like I said, it's a young team, and if I can come in and be a voice and kind of be a mentor to the young guys, I think I'm really looking forward to that. And then on the ice, just gonna keep doing my thing, working, trying to be the hardest worker on the ice every day. Speed, all the intangibles that come with a hockey player, but no, I think a big thing for me is off the ice with this team. Like I said, a lot of young guys, and no, it's a pretty tight group, I can tell already, and I'm just, again, really looking forward to this year for sure.
Yeah, and as a team that's trying to turn into a winner, obviously it's been some down years here for Niagara. Just how excited are you, to bring that playoff pedigree that you had in Owen Sound, instill it into this group, and just show that, what it takes to get into the playoffs, the grind of the season. Once you get into the dog days of January, February, it's hard to keep engaged. So, how are you going to make sure that you let those guys know, what it takes to be that team that gets into the playoffs?
It's a long season, right? It's a long season. It's just about staying engaged when you get to those months of January, February, and whatnot. And I had a good run in my rookie year. We just came up short against Flint in that first round there. We won 7 games, and I really learned a lot that year. It's a dogfight, and I mean, it's a great fan base here. It's great support. I've been here one day for camp, and there's lots of people in the stands watching. And no, it's a passionate city. It's a great rink. Everything about it is great, and no, I think it's a playoff run would be huge for this team, and no, it's just if I can bring anything like that again, like I said, in the 2 runs I did have, that'd be awesome.
And last quick question for you. I know you haven't been here long. You're just getting to know the guys, but what's a player that you're seeing so far that's impressing you that you think is for the IceDog fans out there is going to make a big impact this season?
Honestly, there's a handful I can count on both hands. Coming here, I think Zak Lavoie, Juan Copeland have been really open to me. On my team, Bronson Ride, I'm gonna miss a bunch, but Chris O'Flaherty, Kevin Hees looked really good today too, and then the younger guys too, the Roobroeck there, and I'm gonna blank on the 5th overall pick, but
Ethan Zada.
I know, I knew his name. I didn't know how to pronounce it though. But no, there's a lot of guys that look good in the camp and made for a pretty good game out there. So it's pretty exciting to see as an older guy and a first guy coming in. So it's cool. Yeah.
IceDogs newcomer forward Gavin Bryant. Gavin, we're so excited to have you here in Niagara and what you're going to bring on and off the ice. Really looking forward to seeing you this season, and best of luck with the rest of camp and preseason.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it.
In the Niagara region, Global Pet Foods is your destination for premium pet nutrition and caring expertise. Whether you've welcomed a new furry family member or need advice on top quality nutrition, their dedicated staff is ready to help. Discover why Global Pet Foods' lesser-known premium brands outshine the big corporate names. Their team's passion ensures your pet's health and vitality. Check out one of their locations today: 3643 Portage Road in Niagara Falls, 160 Highway 20 in Font Hill, or 400 Scott Street and 344 Glendale Avenue in St. Catharines. Global Pet Foods, where premium brands and caring staff make the difference. Are you looking to hire? Let the Niagara Employment Help Center save you valuable time and money by making your hiring process easier. Their services include free job postings in-house and on their website, fill job vacancies quickly and efficiently, access to a bank of potential employees, reduce employment costs, and financial incentives may be available to offset the cost of new hire training. Check out the website at ehc.on.ca or call 905-358-0021 for more information. The Niagara Employment Help Center, helping people find work since 1983. Since 1999, Niagara Denture Clinic has been helping thousands of patients achieve natural-looking smiles with the confidence to show them off. Sean Patel and his wife Ann, both licensed denturists, bring a wealth of skill and experience to the warm and friendly atmosphere to their Niagara Falls location at 5501 Drummond Road. And their on-site Niagara Hearing Clinic offers free hearing tests and a variety of services to fit your needs. This family-run practice takes pride in providing superior care and service to their patients, along with the best premium products available on the market. Get the best work done at a more reasonable price. Niagara Denture Clinic is here to help. Protect your teeth with a mouth guard, replace missing teeth, and get better hold with your dental implants. Call them today for a free consultation at 905-353-1552 or check them out online at niagaradentureclinic.com. Niagara Denture Clinic, creating natural smiles in the Niagara region for 25 years.
Hey, it's Juan Copeland.
This is Ethan Zaddy.
This is Kevin Heath. This is Zak Lavoie.
It's Owen Flores.
You're listening to the Dog Pound Podcast,
the official podcast of the Niagara IceDogs.
Here with IceDogs returning forward, Zak Lavoie. Zak, we talked to you at FanFest, about getting excited for the season. Now that it's, training camp's here, you guys are finally on the ice together, guys battling for roster spots. How does it feel to be kind of in, sort of game mode at this point?
Oh, it's great. It's the competition's unreal out there. The intensity's there. And obviously there's going to be cuts, but I think all these players are really good players, and they can all play at the level. It's
your first camp in Niagara. Obviously, you were in Mississauga last year, but what are you trying to teach some of these young guys and just help them along the way, because you were in your first training camp once before, and just the grind of it. It's 4 days, and then you guys have the preseason game on Saturday. So how do you kind of tell those young guys to kind of go through the motions and get through it?
They're kind of at the pro level now, so you're not always going to feel your greatest, but you got to show up and you got to compete as hard as you can, and really that's all I'm telling them right now, especially Rubes and Zada. I'm telling those two, I'm teaching them the ways, and it's been fun.
And for you personally, obviously last season, was a good offensive season for yourself, but I know you're a team guy. You want to have the team success. You want to see this team, take that next step into a playoff contending team. So, what have, the new coach Ben Boudreau and a full year of head coach Ryan Kuwabara, what is different about this year around that you think is going to elevate you guys to be a playoff contending team this year?
The culture. That's all it is guys wanting to be here and wanting to come in and put in the work. It just starts with that, and then our skill's going to take over, and I think we're bound to have a great year this year.
And for you, how do you kind of go about the grind of getting through training camp, getting into those preseason games, and then eventually at the end of September, the start of the regular season? How do you kind of, mentally prepare yourself and make sure that, you're doing all the right things on and off the ice? Because it's a long grind to get to that point.
Yeah, I'm eating the right things. I'm getting the right sleep, and still enjoying life after hockey, right? You got to have balance, and that's what I'm focusing on, and just trying to have fun.
And last question, I've been asking all the guys so far, for the IceDog fans out there, for somebody that's inside the room and sees these guys, what they're doing, putting in the work, what's one player that you think is going to take a really big step this year as an OHL player?
Flutter, O'Flaherty. So funny you asked me that, because me and Flutter had not a bet, but like a I don't know, kind of a thing, like a competition. So he had to get to 205, I had to get to 185, and we both accomplished it, and we actually went above and beyond, both of us. So I think he's one guy that's going to really take a step forward, and I think he's grown a lot and like taller, and he's put on a lot of weight. So I think he's going to have a good year.
IceDogs returning forward, Zak Lavoie. Zak, we're so excited to have you back, taking that next step as a leader and as a player on this team, and look forward to what you're going to bring this season.
Thank you.
Here with IceDogs returning forward, Kevin He. Kev, training camp, first time being out there in somewhat game action, the inter-squad game. How did you feel? I know you scored a goal, and how did it feel to be back out there?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, some of the guys, we're all over the world, so it's good to see them back today. Day one, it's, a lot of nerves, but it's good to be back.
Does it almost feel like the first day of school, having everybody back, seeing them in game action, back at the rink, and feeling like, the season's around the corner, first preseason game on Saturday. Just how are you, mentally preparing yourself for what's to come?
Yeah, I think I'm just enjoying my, day one here with all the guys, building new relationships, and some of the guys, first time on a team, so I'll definitely get to know them a little bit better. But yeah, it's like first day of school, like you said, for sure.
And a little bit different than your first camp. What did you learn from your first training camp that you're really trying to take into your second camp this year around?
I think, just coming into first training camp, I have the same mindset, just try to have that dog mentality. Just, don't think whether you're, first year or second year coming back. Just think, everyone's equal and everyone's got to fight for their opportunity.
And can you talk about, the optimism around this team this year? Ben Boudreau coming in as an assistant coach, Ryan Kuwabara with his system. What are they expecting from you guys on and off the ice to really take that next step to be a competitive team here in the OHL this season?
Yeah, I think just trying to be an ice dog, that's what it compensates. And everyone right now, I think, especially with Ryan, and a lot of changes have been made. So I think everyone's just, get everyone on the same page, and yeah, can't wait to get going.
For the IceDog fans out there, who is a player that you're kind of looking forward to seeing that, the fans, should look out for this season that you're really impressed with and that you think is going to take a big step?
Obviously, some of the new guys, some of the 07s coming in, Ryan Roobroeck and Ethan Zod had a great game today. And then obviously Urban Podjakar, I can't botch his last name, but definitely, a lot of the new guys coming in, they're very high talented.
And lastly for you, the first preseason game's around the corner. The regular season's going to start at the end of September. So what's your mindset? I know you're going into your draft year, but you have a lot more other goals than that, team goals, personal goals. Just how are you going to go into this season? What's the mindset? And, how are you going to get through this season knowing that there's a lot of expectations on you?
I think just focus on myself, take it day by day. I think that's the best anyone can do. Just coming in and get ready to work and, being with the guys and being with the boys. Just, yeah, get ready to work.
IceDogs standout rookie Kevin He, looking forward to what you're going to do in your second season, and best of luck at training camp, and I know the IceDog fans will be excited to see you at the end of September for the start of the regular season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Here with IceDogs returning goaltender Owen Flores. Owen, got to be excited. I know you're at Pittsburgh Penguins development camp. What did you learn from that you're going to hopefully take with you back here in the CHL and junior hockey?
It's a lot of good guys there, a lot of pro guys returned from the AHL, first rounders, all that stuff, guys just newly drafted. So being able to see guys like Blomqvist and Taylor and those guys, I was there with Michael Simpson, who also made it all the way to the Memorial Cup. So learning from everyone, taking pieces from everyone, coaches, players, anything. So it's a good experience, and wish a lot of people could do it too.
You faced a lot of shots last year in Niagara. Obviously, you guys didn't get the results you wanted on the ice, but you obviously grew as a person and a goaltender last year. So what are you going to take, some positives from the way last year went and kind of use it to your advantage as you guys want to build up the standings here this season?
Yeah, it's a tough season last year, but that's in the past. So we're just focused on the future and the present now. So I think we'll be really good, and we'll do everything we can, and we're starting off on the right foot. So.
As a veteran goaltender now, you've been in this league a while now. Obviously, you've had a lot of training camps under your belt. For the young goaltenders, what are you kind of trying to let them know and try to help them prepare for the grind of training camp week and the preseason?
Yeah, a lot of guys coming here nervous, and now I did my first camp too. There's nothing to sweat about. Just go out there and show them what you can do.
And talking about camp itself, new assistant coach Ben Boudreau. You got a new goalie coach this year as well, so some new coaches, but Ryan Kuwabara getting the full year with his system. Just how exciting is it with the young players that you brought in, and the optimism that you guys have this year as you want to build up the standings and compete for a playoff spot this year?
Hey, Ryan's a great coach, amazing coach. He did a lot with us last year. Thought he helped us improve a lot of development stuff. So getting a fresh start, fresh slate this year with all the players and the young guys, I think we'll climb the standings pretty well, and I think we'll do very well. And
as the goaltender, last question, you see a lot of the guys in front of you, the defensemen and then the forwards. What's one player that IceDog fans in your mind should look forward to this year that is going to take a big step?
I think Sobes, by far. The guy's an absolute beast, especially in the gym, and I can only imagine what he got on the ice.
Owen Flores, great to have you back, veteran goaltender. Looking forward to seeing you this season, and best of luck.
Thank you.
What's up, guys? It's Chris O'Flaherty here and Bronson ride, and we just wrapped up our first skate of the day. Bronson, how'd it go?
It was a good skate, fast pace. Guys look good out there.
Yeah, it was good. How's it feel being in Niagara again?
It feels great. Long off season, but all the boys are ready to get back at it.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Any questions for me?
No. Who's impressed you out there, Flutter?
I'd say Kevin. He looked fast. He looked strong. A lot of the boys looked good today. How about you, Bronson? Who impressed you?
I think Gavin Bryant was a good pickup. Looks like a good player.
Yeah.
Only saw him a little bit out there, but he's gonna be a good player for our team for sure.
That's good. Are you looking forward to the game tonight?
Oh yeah, Team White all the way.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be good. Pretty tired right now, but hopefully it'll be a good game. So
I'm not. I had a good off season, right?
Yeah. How was Dev Camp? Senators.
It was really good. It was really fun. Good experience. Fast pace.
Yeah, that's good.
It was really fun though. I mean, it was really fast. You had to get used to the pace. But coming back here, it's nice to be back with the home team.
What is it like to be together now again this season after coming over from Windsor together?
Yeah, no, in all seriousness, it's good to have a really close buddy coming back again. I mean, we want it to be a different year this year, and I think both of us are going to work really hard to achieve that, and along with our new guys and the returning guys. So it's great to see them again, and I just think we're really excited for a different year this year.
First camp in Niagara. How do you feel about that, Ryder? Obviously, you guys had some camps in Windsor, but first camp in Niagara, and what are you kind of trying to tell those young guys that are maybe having their first camp and just trying to calm their nerves a bit?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard coming in here your first year. Obviously, our first year we were nervous coming in too, but as long as you're serious and you love the game, you're going to do great. Just want players that care. If you care, then it's going to be a good year.
Pets bring immense joy to our homes, becoming an integral part of our families. But this living, loving experience often requires a little extra care and attention. That's where Global Pet Foods comes in, with owners and staff ready to support you every step of the way. Check out one of their locations today. 3643 Portage Road in Niagara Falls, 160 Highway 20 in Font Hill, or 400 Scott Street and 344 Glendale Avenue in St. Catharines. Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family. Proud to sponsor the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of the Niagara IceDogs.
Wild Bill's Auto Repair is your local center for auto maintenance and repair in the Niagara region. Since 2012, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop has been helping customers stay safe and confident on the road, knowing their vehicles in top running condition through their services. Located at 7868 Oakwood Drive in Niagara Falls, the garage started as a tribute to the owner's father, William Robert Hunter, who passed away, continuing the same community spirit and high level of service which customers came to expect from him back at Hunter's Auto Repair. Their multi-award-winning auto shop has earned the trust of the Niagara community with its fair treatment of all customers, who can feel confident they'll get the trustworthy advice and repairs during their visit. Their experienced crew loves meeting new people and looks forward to forming a lasting partnership for the care of your cars. To find out more or to book a service, contact them today. 905-358-7868 or wildbillsauto.ca. Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road since 2012.
J&L Flooring is Niagara's specialty flooring and design company. They take great pride and provide elite customer service and support. With a beautiful showroom, great pricing, and a wide variety of truly unique products, J&L Flooring is your specialty flooring and decor boutique shop. All of their products are environmentally friendly and responsibly produced so you can feel good about your flooring choices. Their goal is to build authentic relationships based on honesty and integrity that they foster with respect and authenticity. Offering a unique and wide range of quality products presented by a knowledgeable and patient team, they simplify the process to make your life easier and to make your home more beautiful. Visit them at 4424 Montrose Road in Niagara Falls or find out more at jnlflooring.com. If you think you can get a better deal anywhere else, you don't know Jack at J&L Flooring.
Hey, this is Chris O'Flaherty.
Hey, it's Ryan Roobroeck.
Bronson Ride.
This is Gavin Bryant.
And you're listening to the
Dog Pound Podcast.
The official podcast of the Niagara IceDogs.
Here with IceDogs' new associate coach, Ben Boudreau. Ben, being back in junior hockey, you've obviously coached in the pros for a long time with Fort Wayne. Just what has it been like to be back here, coaching a little younger age group, and getting back here in Niagara?
Well, it's a different dynamic, 100%, that you can bring to the table. But one thing as a coach is I think your fingerprints are a little bit more on the over-end result, where when you get the guys coming to pros, they've had their chance to develop at pro. They've gone to school. I mean, they've been through a number of coaches. We're here with the youth movement that you have is they're a little bit more moldable when you get them earlier on in their career. And so if you're confident in who you are and what your teachings are going to be, I think you can have more of a bigger impact at a younger level with these guys than you can at the pro level. So for something, for myself, being involved at the youth ever since I started hockey, I think it's really exciting for me to get involved like that and leave a big impression. And I think the fact that, growing up in St. Catharines and having that pride of coming to the rink every day, and there's a lot of players from different towns, but they're all playing for the IceDogs. So having that impact of what it means to be prideful, coming to the rink every day, taking pride in everything that you do, I think is going to be something for me I look at that I hope that I can pass on down to these guys here.
And for the fans that want to know a little bit more about what you bring as a coach, what is the type of style that you like to instill, and what type of commitment do you expect from the guys, and just that coaching style that you want to bring, and the pace that you want to play?
Well, I've always been a positive guy, and I try to make everybody better around me as far as feeling welcome, making sure they understand. But I think just being a cog in the wheel, making sure you're a part of the team and just doing your job without trying to do too much is going to be my goal here this year. So if I can find a way to make an impact on somebody's life, somebody's day, somebody's game, then it's going to be a job well done. But I bring a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm every single day. This is something I do not because it's a job, because it's an absolute passion of mine. So I've never actually feel like I'm going to work. This is just a beautiful opportunity in my own hometown, and like I said, this has been something I've been waiting for a long time here. So the fact that we're just getting going is a really exciting feeling. So I can't wait to jump out of bed and get to work every single day.
And you talk about that collaborative, part of it with the other coaches, Ryan Kuwabara, Brandon Shaw, and all the other assistants. How much of this training camp week are you guys, trying to put in X's and O's, or is it more so just trying to get to know the players off the ice? Like, what's the balance of the on and off ice that you're trying to teach these young men as they move forward here?
Well, we have the benefit of not playing our first game until the end of the month and starting a month in advance and having a long training camp. You don't have to accomplish everything in one day. So, I mean, there's a lot of players, there's a lot of new faces, including the staff, and so I think you have to take your time to get to know one another, and team building is important, both with the players and the staff alike. And I know Ryan from coaching in the ECHL and going against him and knowing his tendencies, and I know he's a really good coach and an even better person off the ice. So that's something, right away, knowing that you've got a staff of really good people is something exciting. And Brandon Shaw, just an unbelievable guy, heart full of gold, and I think Doc is, he gravitates everybody around, and you need somebody like that to bring everybody together. So when you look at the 4 coaches on the staff, I couldn't be happier just to be a part of the mix. So that's something exciting where you look forward to going to work every day, because the guys next to you are going to turn into your friends. So I think for me that's something extremely exciting to look forward to. And as far as the players, you want to make sure you find a way to put a personal touch on everybody, just as far as an impact of who you are, what your beliefs are, what kind of strengths and characteristics that I have and instill it in them with a collective group effort at the same time too. So there's a lot of guys I'm really looking forward to getting to know, but you can't put the cart before the horse and do it in all in one day. So just being the second day of training camp, you take your time, you pull a guy or two aside, and you start to learn the little things out about them. What's their favorite food? Where'd they grow up? What are their habits or tendencies? What do they like on the ice? What do they like off the ice? And that's getting to know somebody, but at the same time too, it's going to give us enough information as a coach to maybe put them in a position to have success. So that's the puzzle that we're all trying to figure out here over the next 4.5 weeks, and by the time game one comes, hopefully we've done enough work where we can be working cohesively as a group on the ice.
And last question, you were in one place for a very long time. You had your roots there, but being from Niagara, what was appealing about coming back to the area, to the Niagara IceDogs? A team that's really trying to build back up into that competitive team that has been so great over the years. In the last few years, you just haven't been there. What appealed you to come back to junior hockey and the IceDogs specifically to try to help build them back up the standings and into a competitive team here in the OHL?
Yeah, well, when you look at the path that I've taken to get here after I went to school in Belleville, graduated, and chased my professional hockey dream after 4 years, got into coaching professionally for the last 9 years, over 600 professional games and a championship on the bench. I mean, I've been extremely proud of what I've accomplished on a personal level, but at the same time too, it takes you to a million different cities and you see what it's like out there in the world. But one thing that I recognize every single place I've gone, every opportunity I've ever been afforded, there's no substitution for what it's like to be at home. And the feeling of coming home isn't necessarily just the city that I grew up in, but it's the people that make you feel like that. And you see some of the people in the grocery stores or at the rink, the same people I saw as a teenager and as a 20-year-old are the same people that are kicking around just obviously a few years later. So when you ask me, what it's like to come back home, it's the people that make you feel like at home, and that's the pride. Is now when you go to the rink, you're trying to put a team on to perform in front of your family and friends, and there's a little extra motivation to make sure that you want to be sharp and you want to instill that pride in the players of what it feels like to be playing in front of home. There's a lot of people that have helped me get to this spot. There's a lot of people that have helped the IceDogs become the organization they are, and if they have the same pride in the way they carry themselves day in and day out that I do when I come to the rink here, I think we're going to be a pretty good thing. So, for me, what does it mean to be home is absolutely everything. There's no better time in my life to be here with my two boys, raise them, and hopefully have my two young sons, see their father as part of a successful culture, which is part of a winning IceDogs team here too. So, if I can find a way to make a small impact and not try to screw too much up here, then it'll be a job well done. So those are little things that I take a lot of pride in, and can't wait to get behind the IceDogs bench and coach in front of friends and family.
Perfect. IceDogs Associate Coach Ben Boudreau. Ben, thanks so much for doing this. Happy to have you back in Niagara. Welcome back, and look forward to what's to come this season.
Thanks very much.
Here with IceDogs head coach Ryan Kuwabara. Ryan, first day of training camp, getting the guys up to speed. Just how excited are you to really instill your system? Because obviously you didn't get here until the middle of last year. Mm-hmm. So just how much are you and your staff looking forward to really implementing what you want to see out of these players as you progress up the standings this year?
Yeah, definitely. It's an exciting time. You get a fresh start, getting a chance to talk with all the guys again and see the excitement they have coming into camp. It's a really fun time of the year.
And talk about, it's going to be a long camp, 4 days long, and then you have a preseason game on Saturday against Peterborough. So, what's the game plan as far as, when you're going to, make some cuts? Or are you going to wait till a preseason game to kind of have guys showcase what they can do? It's a long, grinding camp. So what are you telling the guys on what you're expecting from them and, when decisions will be made?
Yeah, definitely. I think after tomorrow we have to have a little conversation with a few guys just because of the 48-hour rule, right? So we have to respect that. But, just going in and talking with those guys today, I just told them, I was really impressed with the professionalism they brought, the work ethic, the compete, the way they carried themselves. That's a huge piece of it this year coming in is our culture. So that's something where, if we can start now and some of the older guys can start to instill that in some of these younger guys, it's going to pay dividends for us later on.
And you talk about changing the culture. You bring in a new assistant in Ben Boudreau. Obviously, he has a pro experience in the ECHL. What are you liking from Ben as he, transitions back into the junior hockey scene, and what are you, hoping that he's going to bring, to your coaching room and helping you out as well?
Yeah, I just think a fresh set of eyes too. He's got a lot of experience. We coached against each other for about a year and a half before I came to Niagara. So I know he's a good coach. He's a solid guy. He's big in this community, which is huge. And we have some great talks with Shazi and Doc and Fritter and stuff like that. Just going over stuff and stuff we want to try to accomplish this year. So no, I'm super excited to have him on board.
A couple of new faces, obviously, the couple of really good young players, but also a couple acquisitions. Sobolev coming over from Windsor, and then you picked up Gavin Bryant, who is well known around the league as a big personality and a good leader in the room. So with the additions that you guys have made this offseason, how confident are you that this is a team that can get back up the standings quickly and have a much better results on the ice than what was happened last year?
Yeah, I think that goes hand in hand with having a good culture, right? You add some good pieces there, and to bring these young guys along, it's going to be a little trying at times for sure, because I know young guys they tend to make some mistakes, but with having those older guys here, I think that's going to be a huge piece of shortening that learning curve.
And are you going to wait until kind of preseason's over, or a little bit closer to the start of the regular season to name your captains and assistant captains, or are you just going to kind of go with the flow with putting out the people that are going to be the leadership group here?
Yeah, I think that's a process we're going to go through. I know with the rest of the coaches and Wes and stuff, we're talking quite a bit about possibilities, and a lot of times now it's just learning about the new guys and learning who can be a leader, and I don't think that's something you're going to rush into. It's something you take your time and see kind of through some of the team builders who might be a leader and maybe you didn't expect him to step up, and he has to be somebody that's respected or the group's respected. So I'm confident we're gonna pick the right guys. It just might take some time.
And what's the strategy with this week? 4-day camp. It's going to be a grind for some guys.
Mm-hmm.
What is? Are you doing a lot of X's and O's, or are you kind of trying to get to know the players off the ice? What's the balance with what you're trying to teach them as far as on ice stuff,
Yep.
but also trying to teach them off ice and just teaching them how to be pros? How's that kind of balancing act working for you and the coaching staff?
Yeah, that's the biggest piece of it sometimes, right, is balancing the right amount. And a lot of times when they're coming in the first 2 days, they're so excited and they're ramped up, they're not absorbing too much with the X's and O's. So I think the first few days you just kind of you give them some structure a little bit, and then see if they're able to implement it, and then you just keep adding pieces as you go along in camp.
And last question, what, for the guys that might not end up making the team, what are you hoping that they take away from this week, as training camp ends, and as they move on to whatever level of hockey that they're going to play at this year? And what's your message to those guys that might not make the group?
Yeah, it's just the way our guys carry themselves, right? It's a new year and the culture's changing, and every day when we come to the rink, we're expected to work hard, right? We're expected to do the right things. We're expected to have fun. All that stuff goes together with having success. So I think for us to be able to do that and instill in those guys to, when they go back to their teams, is work hard and also be a leader. These are traits that we're going to look for next year, possibly when you come back, and if you can show us that, then it's one box that's going to be checked.
IceDogs head coach Ryan Kuwabara here at IceDogs training camp. Thanks so much for doing this, and look forward to talking to you once training camp ends and going into the preseason and once the regular season starts at the end of September.
Yeah, it's going to come quick. Thanks very much.
And there you have it. There were the interviews live from Niagara IceDogs training camp 2023. Drew, speaking with the players and the coaching staff, a lot of optimism, and there's a lot to prove from these guys, the returning players and the new blood coming in. Just a lot of optimism and a lot of hard work that's going to have to be put in for them to compete for a playoff spot. So, from the short time that you've seen, and again, we're only in the first week of training camp. We got preseason games, coming out, and then the regular season by the start of or the end of September. So, just general thoughts on what you're expecting from the team this year as they try to build back up the standings. They got to get 2 spots to be able to be a playoff team. So, it's not going to be handed to them, and they're going to have to put in the work.
I can't wait to see my first exhibition game. That's what I'm going to say too. But just going by the general feeling, the general sense around the kind of environment they're creating for these players with the coaching staff, with the staff that I even just met too behind the scenes, there really is sort of a feeling of unity again. And I don't know what it was like necessarily before. I haven't covered the team this closely. This is my first time doing it this way with you guys here on the Dog Pound. But I got to say that I have followed the team since they've arrived here in Niagara as far back as 2007, and this is the closest I've been to them because of you doing what you're doing here. But I got to say that just the gut feeling from impressions of what I've seen from the practices, the drills that they're running, optimism just can't help but come up over and over again. But I just think that you can't help but feel like this team is not going to be better because it looks like they really, really are. There's new talent in town. There's new coaches. There's new strategies in place to get these guys to be successful on the ice and off the ice too. Niagara is really known for being a great community, as we know, but I'm looking forward to letting these guys decide what kind of team they're going to be. You know, showing us what kind of hockey we have to look forward to, because it's been a few years that we've seen, probably since the Akil Thomas era, if you will, in Niagara, that we've seen the kind of hockey that we've come to know and enjoy in this city. So I'm looking forward to seeing and learning from you, really, because again, like, you gave me this opportunity to jump on board with you guys on the Dog Pound, and I just can't wait to be a fan again, but also to cover the team in a unique way that's going to involve the fans more. And yep. I'm pumped to be here, man. So
yeah, it's been a fun week here at training camp, and we look forward to doing more coverage throughout the season. Drew's going to be along with us. Cam, we're going to be doing the game recaps. We're going to be doing some alumni interviews, so stay tuned to that. And Drew's got a couple of good ones lined up for us coming this season. So a lot of cool, interesting content coming to the Dog Pound on a full-time basis, and we can't wait to bring you more of that. So Brandon Caputo, you can follow me on Twitter at @bcaputo_AGM. You can follow my co-host Andrew Thompson at Drew_Deeks, and check out his Montreal Canadiens content if you're into that sort of thing. And I know he's really hoping that Daniil Sobolev makes this team so he can really cover him this season. So until next time, this has been the Dog Pound Podcast on the Armchair GM Sports Network, the official podcast of your Niagara Ice Dogs, brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family. Check out all 4 of their Niagara region locations, the proud show sponsor of the Dog Pound Podcast. We'll see you guys again very soon.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.